part 2 of my presentation on how to avoid stepping on cultural toes. Another way to avoid stepping on cultural toes is to ask for what participants would like to be called, and keeping in mind the fact that names might not be constructed in the Western style or first name and last name. I know that I've encountered this in face-to-face moderation quite a bit when dealing with individuals from another culture, because it might be that what we think is their surname is actually their first name. And then the other important thing to be aware of is, because you are e-moderating, you're sitting at a computer, you don't always have that visual indicator that Kelly is indeed a male or that Aaron might be a female. So when you're using names, before you even start addressing your students, it's good to make sure that you know who you're dealing with and that you have your genders correct. And the last theme that I'm going to talk about is the e-moderation station article, where we were asked to, or not where we were asked to, where we read about the top 10 e-moderator skills for 2010. And in that article, there's a very fine model. And what I think mostly applies to the idea of stepping on cultural toes is empathy and sensitivity. Or empathy and socialization, although sensitivity could also be an important e-moderation skill. Empathy is the ability to put yourself into your participant's shoes. So therefore, if you can put yourself in their shoes, that would mean that you would clearly try to understand their cultural differences. And then socialization would mean that you would be trying to diligently, as the e-moderator, work to make sure your groups are gelling, and then you want to take in account the cultural differences of your fellow classmates. And you want to take that responsibility as the e-moderator to try to make sure that classmates are also being empathetic towards each other. So these are some ways, some practical ways that as an e-moderator or online teacher, you can ensure that you are not treading on the cultural toes of your online students, and so that the online environment is a safe place where students want to learn and where they're engaged.